Good morning, students. Today I am going to explain you about chapter 1, that is crop production and management. So firstly we should know what is crop. When plants of the same kind are grown and cultivated in large quantities in a field, that is called a crop. Means the same kind of plants are grown at a large scale in a field, that is called a crop. So why we require crop? We all need food, and from where we get the food? Definitely we get the food from the plants. That's why we do agriculture and we grow the crops in the field. So now we are going to study that on the basis of season we can divide the crops into two categories. Number one is Kharif crop, number two is Rabi crop. Number one, Kharif crop, the crops which are grown in the rainy season, that is from June to September, are called Kharif crop. As given in your book, there are many examples of Kharif crop like paddy, maize, soybean, groundnut and cotton. All these are Kharif crops. And Rabi crops are those crops which are grown in the winter season, that is from October to March. They are called Rabi crops like wheat, gram, pea, mustard, linseed. All these are the example of Rabi crops. Now in this chapter basically there are given different practices which we follow during the crop production, and these practices are, as you can see, there are given many practices. Number one is preparation of soil, number two is sowing, third one is adding manure and fertilizers, fourth is irrigation, fifth is protecting from weeds, sixth is harvesting, and seventh is storage. So firstly I will explain you about preparation of soil. The preparation of soil is the first and foremost step of agriculture, which is followed during growing a crop. So the process of loosening and turning of soil with the help of certain tools like plow, hoe, cultivator is called preparation of soil. Now we will discuss what are the benefits of preparation of soil. There are many benefits of preparation of soil. Number one is this allows the roots to penetrate deep into the soil, as given in your books. This due to this preparation of soil, the roots can go deeply into the soil so that they can breathe easily and get oxygen from the soil. Second one is the loosened soil helps in the growth of earthworms and microbes. Earthworms are called friends of the farmers because they help in increasing the fertility of the soil by making it porous. So the loosened soil help in the growth of such microbes and earthworms which increase the fertility of the soil. Number three, turning and loosening of soil brings the nutrient rich soil to the top, so that when we prepare the soil which is rich in nutrients, that comes to the top. So there are certain benefits of preparation of soils. Here are shown different agricultural tools which are used during preparation of soil. First one is plow. Plow was used in ancient time. A plow contains a thick triangular iron strip called plowshare. As you can see in the diagram, the main part of the plow is a long log of wood which is called plow shaft. There is a handle at the lower end of the shaft and a beam at the upper end. So with the help of this plow we can prepare the soil. Number two is hoe. The implement called hoe is used for removing of weeds, as I will discuss later on, and for loosening the soil. It consists of a long rod of wood or iron. A strong, broad and bent plate of iron is fixed at one end of the long rod. It also helps in preparation of soil, means it helps in loosening the soil. Next one, in the same way there is cultivator. Cultivator, nowadays we use a cultivator in the field. It is drawn by a tractor, and it also help in you can say leveling the soil as well as preparing the soil. The main advantage of using cultivator is that it saves labor and time. So first step, the main step is preparation of soil. After preparation of soil, we grow the healthy seeds to the crop, to the field, and this is called sowing. So sowing is also an important part of crop production, but before sowing we should choose the good quality of seeds. So how we can distinguish between a healthy seed and a damaged seed? For this we can do an activity. If we soak the seeds in the water, the damaged seeds, there are some holes in the damaged seeds, and due to that they become light in weight. So damaged seeds will float on the water, and the heavy seeds, which are actually the healthy seeds, they will sink in the water. So by removing the upper layer of water with the damaged seeds, you can get the lower healthy seeds. then you can dry these seeds and grow in the fields. So this method of adding the healthy seeds to the field is called sowing. There are many methods of sowing, that is traditional method and with the help of seed drill. In ancient time, traditional tools were used in which there was a funnel through which seeds passed and they are sown in the field. But nowadays we use a seed drill. The main advantage of using seed drill is that it grows the seeds at appropriate depth and appropriate distance. Means there is no overcrowding of seeds, so that all the plants, all the seeds get proper air and all grow in the field. So nowadays which type of tool is used for sowing? That is seed drill. Now I have discussed about two steps. The third step is adding manure and fertilizers. You know what is the difference between manure and fertilizer? Manure are the organic substances and fertilizers are inorganic substances. Manure are prepared from the dead decaying organic matter with the help of microorganisms, and fertilizers are the chemicals which are prepared in the factories with the help of human beings. So, which one is more beneficial? Definitely manure. There is given an activity 1.2. In this activity, what is given? There are given 3 pots in which one pot manure is added, in second a fertilizer is added, and in third neither manure nor fertilizer is added. Yeah, student, you know in which the plants will grow more fast. Definitely the pot in which fertilizer is added, the plants will grow more fastly as compared to the pot in which we add the manure, and there will be no growth in the pot or very less growth in which neither manure nor fertilizer is added. Why? Fertilizers are certain chemicals which help in the fast growth of the plants, but the main drawback of using fertilizer is that they are the chemicals, they damage the soil. Definitely one time they increase the fertility of the soil and help in faster growth of the plants, but later on they damage the soil and continuously the soil loses its fertility after some time. So preferably we should use manure in place of fertilizers. Nowadays we can use even crop rotation method in which leguminous plants are grown alternately in the field with the main crop. What is the advantage of using leguminous plants? Because in the root nodules of the leguminous plants, certain bacteria called rhizobium are found, and these rhizobium help in nitrogen fixation of the air. Means they help in providing nitrogen to the plants, and this method is called nitrogen fixation. So we should also grow some leguminous, means pulses giving plants in the field to provide nitrogen to the crop. So here are given what are the advantages of using manure. Number one is it enhances the water holding capacity of the soil, means it increases the water holding capacity of the soil. Second, it makes the soil porous, so it becomes very easy for the gases to pass through the soil, and it has a better growth of the plants. Number three, it increases the number of friendly microbes, means it helps in increasing those microorganisms which help in increasing the fertility of the soil. And fourth, they also improve the texture of the soil and maintain the fertility of the soil. So which one is more better? Manure is definitely more better as compared to fertilizer. Next, fourth is irrigation. Irrigation, as you know, the process of supply of water. As you can see, the supply of water to the crops at regular intervals is called irrigation. For the growth of the plants they require some water. This water is provided, and this method is called irrigation. There are many sources of irrigation like wells, tube wells, ponds, lakes, river, dams and canal. Traditionally there are shown certain methods, and here are the pictures of different traditional method which were used for irrigation in the field. What were these methods? You can say these are moat method, chain pump method, Dagley method, Rahat method. In all these methods, water is lifted using manpower or animal power. In modern version of these methods, water pumps running on diesel, electricity, biogas or solar energy are used for lifting the water. So nowadays we use modern methods of irrigation which are like sprinkler system and drip irrigation. So next method are modern method which are drip irrigation method and sprinkler system. In sprinkler system, as you can see, There are perpendicular pipes having rotating nozzles on the top, and they spray the water on the tops as if it is raining. So that's why it is called sprinkler system, because water goes in the form of rain to the crop, so it saves the water. Second method is drip system. In this system, the water falls drop by drop directly near the roots of the plant. So it is called drip system. It is very important method to save the water. So the places where there is scarcity of water, this method is basically used for the irrigation. So these were the four basic steps. Next, fifth main step of agriculture is protection from weeds. Firstly, you should know what are weeds. Weeds are the unwanted plants, or we can say the undesirable plants which grow naturally with the main crop. They are called the weeds, and the process of removing of weeds is called weeding. Now question arises, why weeding is necessary? As you know, weeds are also the plants, so they compete with the main plant for water, space and light. So they help in they interfere with the growth of the main plants, and also they help in preventing the harvesting. So we should cut these weeds, and the process of removal of weeds is called weeding. The best time for the removal of weeds before they produce flower, because after producing flower they will spread in the whole field. So the best method is before they produce the flowers we should cut them. There are many methods of removing the weeds. One is we can cut the weeds with the help of a kurpi or a seed drill. And nowadays we use certain chemicals which are called weedicides like 2,4-D. These chemicals, when sprayed on the weeds, they destroy them. So the modern method of destroying the weeds is by using certain chemicals which are called weedicide. But the main drawback of weedicide is that when they are sprayed in the field, they can some harmful effects on the person which is spraying. So we should cover the mouth by spraying the weedicides in the field. Next is harvesting. Harvesting means the cutting of crop after it is mature is called harvesting. Harvesting is done in our country manually by sickle or by a machine called harvester. Nowadays we use combines, which is a harvester as well as thresher, means which help in cutting the crop as well as removing the seeds from the stalk. So nowadays which we use for cutting the crop, that is combine. And after that there is given winnowing. What is winnowing? The process of separation of grain from the chaff with the help of wind is called winnowing. What is the difference between threshing and winnowing? Threshing means removing, or we can say separating grains from the stalks, and here in winnowing we remove the grain from the chaff with the help of wind. That is called winnowing. Here are shown certain harvest festivals which are associated with the these crop production, like Baisakhi. You know, in our country Baisakhi they are given Holi, Diwali, Navanya, Bihu. All these are celebrated in during the harvesting of crops. And the last and the main step of agriculture is storage. When a crop is cut, the grains are to be protected from the attack of insects, rats, microorganisms and moisture. Harvested grains have more moisture. If freshly harvested grains are stored without drying, they may get spoiled or attacked by organisms. So firstly we should dry the grains, and then they are stored in certain by certain method like silos for storage of grains. In the same way they can be packed in gunny bags, or they can be stored in large godowns which are called silos and granaries. And last, animal husbandry. Animal husbandry means the rearing of animals and livestock is called animal husbandry. So along with agriculture, farmers can also use certain can also rear the you can say animals for their economic welfare. In like they can do dairying, they can do poultry. Poultry means rearing of poultry eggs, poultry chickens for the egg and meat is called poultry. In the same way they can do fishing or fisheries. They can do apiculture. Fishes means rearing of fishes. Apiculture means rearing of honeybees for the production of honey. So all these that is involved the caring and rearing of animals for the personal benefit, that is called animal husbandry. So in this way, this chapter is completed. Thank you very much.